Alrighty, welcome to the Central Plains Garden. There's a front side here, just houseplants, really. Nothing spectacular. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, thank you for joining. Really just sharing our garden here. In my front beds, I've changed them. They're doing better, holding better water now. We got sage I transplanted and some extra tomatoes out here. We'll see how they do. Generally, this front side doesn't do as well. Then, move over another house plant. Not doing so great. And in this bed, same thing. I've moved the bricks around. Got some sunflowers coming in. An ice plant I got out this year. It's doing really well. I think it'll take this bed over at some point. One of the experiments for the year, which is ginger, seems to be coming up and doing well. We'll see what it looks like when it dies back this fall. See if we've got some ginger. Now we don't use any pesticides, herbicides, anything. So don't be bothered by the random volunteer or the weeds. Now, the garden has changed. I do apologize that it's taken this long to do a video, but I have been busy. If you're interested in some of what we've been doing, you can visit Central Plains Tea and Coffee Co. Link will be in the description. Alrighty, so last year, this bed was about half the size it is this year. And this year we have cantaloupe and honeydew in order. So cantaloupe first, honeydew next. More sunflowers. Sunflowers are wonderful for amending your soil, helping your soil, improving your soil health. So they get planted every year. Watermelons. We got 3 different types of watermelon in here. I'm not sure who's who anymore. I know there's a really big one, and there is a white one in here, and I think there is a black one in here, but we'll find out when they come out. This part of the garden certainly has not changed much. A little work needed. We've had a lot of wind and rain and just kind of weird weather out here, super hot, things like that. So, but I have onions actually growing in the garden this year, as you see. And there are some clovers and other things in here as well, because we don't spray for pests. Volunteers, big thing this season. I have volunteer potatoes. Not supposed to be in here this season because we rotate, but they came up, so we'll let them grow. I'll dig them out. We'll get some potatoes. These are rainbow carrots. At one point, I don't see any now. There were just regular orange ones, but they don't seem to be coming up as well as the rainbow carrots have. And for whatever reason, this bed, though it should have onions, doesn't seem to be doing anything, which has been kind of the theme this year. Either it does something or it does not. Now you'll notice there is no greenhouse. There was a windstorm last year. And, well, it didn't survive. It kind of looked like a car went through it. Alrighty, so most of these tomatoes I did not start. Actually, one of my neighbors needed somebody to plant them. I planted them. So I have a absurd number of big boy tomatoes. Again, don't mind the weeds. I haven't been back out to weed recently. It's been about a week. So I need to come back out and weed again. And my last count was 27 of these. The ones in the front are the same big boy tomatoes. And if you are wondering, yes, there are some framing of the old greenhouse we can still see. I haven't taken it down. I haven't bothered. Now, when we get over here, things change a little bit. These are hot San Moreno tomatoes. I did not grow them. I did buy them in. Unfortunately, it was not a great year for my starts. Now, I did do something different with our peppers this year. I have a shade cloth over them. This shade cloth is just kind of protecting them from the sun. Get down here, you'll notice there's a lot of bergamot in here, or borage rather, sorry. There are tomatoes. This one closest is Thai pepper. There's some others in here as well. I think I ended up with habanero, serrano, and some jalapenos. All bought in. Unfortunately, my peppers did not make it. If we continue along here, we've made some additional adjustments. The garden did grow. These will be beds at some point. We just haven't done anything with them. This is a new bed. It's supposed to have corn and zucchini, but I've gotten literally nothing out of it. The backside does have some cosmos growing in, but other than that, I just, it's one of those weird years. Certain things just don't seem want to grow out here. Because of the wind, I did do a barrier here. It's the old tree we chopped down a couple of years ago. I added more soil. We'll see. Maybe something will come up. If not, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Not every year is perfect. Again, another one of these beds. And then this is for my sage. We'll get to in a minute. It's a bit out of control. And so I'm gonna divide that up, put it around the trees in the front. I think it'll look nice. This is recently planted for pumpkins, probably a little later, but it's been so hot this summer, I thought I'd wait a little while, potentially see if we can get a better growth. So we'll see if anything happens. Now, the weeds are out of control in here, and I about half weeded. Every time I get caught up, it rains. So, there are a few things growing in here. I do have a strawberry. It is also under a shade cloth. It's doing really well. I don't know if we can actually see it in there. Yes, we can. And it is doing very well. We're just going to let it do its thing. Trail around this section of bed. There is some cilantro in here, also known as something else. And it looks like the bergamot I planted is coming up possibly right here. Not where it was supposed to come in, but whatever. And then the cilantro is voluntary. I did not plant the cilantro. It just came in. Again, weeds everywhere. As you can see, I've gotten this pathway done, but not the rest of it. These are chamomile. Planted them in. There was supposed to be lemon balm. It just didn't make it. So this bed's got what it's got. We've had quite a bit of rain the last few days. This is the newest addition to the garden, a blueberry plant. It does have some really beautiful blueberries coming in. Looks like some of them might be fairly good sized. See what happens here. Interestingly enough, I do believe we inherited a toad out of this particular plant when I planted it in. There's a big old hole, and then there was a toad in the yard. I haven't seen the toad in several days, but there's a toad in the yard. So we're hoping that the garden will encourage the toads. Still continuing on with the clover. Clover is really good for your soil as well. I've just kind of been letting it do its thing. The idea is that we'll go ahead and the clover will spread through the yard. This bed I have not weeded as well, and it's because I have this calendula coming up, and it's just now getting big enough where I can really identify it. And so I'll probably start pulling a lot of the weeds out here. As you see, we have some flowering plants in here, mostly bergamot. And these guys come in on their own. They're a pest of mine. I like them, but they just go wild. There is actually 2 rhubarb here, one for my neighbor. We love our neighbors here. And since it survived when it goes dormant this fall, I'll be giving that to her. And then my very large rhubarb plant that we've had here. Now, again, the season of volunteers. This is, from what I can identify, it looks like this is some type of a berry bush. Planted itself. We're kind of waiting to confirm that. I did plant a few berries last year. They didn't come up, and the seeds did get dumped in beds. So this may be a volunteer, but not the kind that we think it is. This bed's really thick, but it's not as thick with weeds. It's really lots of the borage. This is bush. And then you get a little bit of a break, and then you get this. My biggest sage. I mean, we planted these by seed last year. Again, no help. These are growing on their own naturally. No pesticides, no herbicides, nothing. No assistance. A couple of changes. We'll get a better angle here because of the sun. A couple of changes to the garden. We did get a bird bath. Forgive me. It has not been rinsed or cleaned out since it's rained. It's a little gross looking. The toad hut, which the toad has not been seen in, and more sage. And I do have rosemary. She's kind of hiding over here. It's doing okay. I mean, it could be doing better, I think. But, again, I need a weed. Now, where the greenhouse once was, we have Ezekiel's favorite treat, green beans. And these green beans are huge this year. Just insane. They had been under a protective bug net like this other set here. But they, as you can see, have some discoloration. They've really gotten rather large. So I have taken the liberty of taking that off. In these beds, there is a stray watermelon. I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll see. It volunteered. Under the soil where we can't see is potatoes, all 3 beds. Now, obviously we have some plastic problem here. This was inside, protected, where the plastic would likely not deteriorate. This is coming down, and this whole thing will become a bed. It was the greenhouse. Greenhouse is no longer with us. A fun experiment from my mother-in-law. She had left quite a few very old seeds, and I just felt like having some fun. And we planted radishes, and they've gone to bloom. I probably need to pull them out, but I've let them bloom because they're good for our pollinators. And the next part of the garden is supposed to be broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage. For whatever reason, it's done pretty much nothing. I planted a couple of times. My suspicion is this is a heat issue. The reality is though we've been getting moisture, it has been hot out here, and these plants don't particularly love the heat. They do like colder temperatures, and again, of course, because we do not spray, we have weeds. I do hand pull my weeds for the most part, unless I'm weed eating around like the fences and stuff, because we are trying to encourage wildlife such as toads, and as you can hear, the birds. This is the only cauliflower that looks like it's come up. I'm trying to decide what I should do about this, and I'm actually kind of wondering why this is what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna have to make some decisions here. I can replant one more time, or I can just give up on it. I don't know. I do need a weed back here hidden on the trellis, and this probably is going to stay there because I think for the most part it's pretty happy. It's a raspberry. I need to kind of tie it up onto the trellis. It was bought the same time as the blueberry, but it hasn't been put in the soil because it is so hot that the concern would be that we will roast this poor plant, and we don't want to do that. So instead of roasting it, we're going to give it a little bit of time and a break. And hey, I see something interesting. Let's go see what this is. I think we have mushrooms growing back in here. Oh, look at that. We sure do. Look at that. Right out the side of the bed. Mushrooms. Little toadstool mushrooms. Last year we got soil from one place, and I certainly think I regretted it a little. It was, I mean, it's great soil, don't get me wrong. But the amount of mushroom spore in it is insane. I mean, I get mushrooms of all kinds. I had a stink mushroom the other day. These little guys were not here yesterday, so I'm sure they came up with the rain that we've had the last couple of days. It tells me my soil's nice and saturated. But it's not the entirety of the garden. We are going to do an asparagus bed. It's probably going to wait till this fall, but it's where we are in July. Unusual year. Hope you enjoyed, and certainly if you want to know a little bit more about the coffee company, check us out. We'll put the link in the description. Have a good day. Bye.